There are a few things that I think are being left out in the discussion insofar as the January 6th insurgency and terrorism against the Capitol. There's, and I don't know why these things are being left out of the discussion. First of all, everyone knew ever since the Constitution was written, that there would be a counting of the Electoral College delegates on the 6th of January of this year. There was plenty of time to plan for it, and Trump and his supporters knew that they were going to get together on that day. The date was not picked out of a top hat with slips of paper. That day was extremely, extremely important. The purpose was to stop the counting of the Electoral College delegates, to cause enough confusion that somehow, in some strange, weird way, we'd be able to stop government and install the losing individual in as another 4 years as president. And it is my opinion that the reason Trump was so anxious to stay president was not because he had a detailed plan for what he wanted to do with or for the country. It was power, money, and you don't get indicted when you're president. And that is the point of his staying president. The purpose of the getting thousands of Trump supporters together and getting them whipped up. Goodness, Trump and Rudy Giuliani have made no secret of it. They wanted to stop the counting of the Electoral College delegates. That is why you pick January 6th. That is why you send them to the Senate and the House of Representatives. That's why you send it to the Capitol. You have a plan, and the plan is to do something illegal. It is, and everyone knows, it is illegal to force by violence to force Congress to stop its ability to function. It is illegal to go by force into any federal property. I knew a elderly man who spent years in a federal prison because he was at a protest, and he flopped his big hairy toe onto federal property and said, "I'm not getting off because I'm protesting." Years in prison. He could hardly believe he was there. It was such a shock to him. So everyone knew that that was illegal and that that was the purpose of their being there. Now, how can you get all those people so whipped up? Q has been predicting this for many, many, many months, that the storm was coming. And this was the storm. When the storm that QAnon is predicting will come, then martial law will be proclaimed, and Trump will take back the power, and you'll have mass arrests of all those nasty child-abusing Dems, and you'll have executions everywhere, and all the white people live happily ever after, and life goes back to June and Ward Cleaver. The happy, happy days we used to have before those black people started getting so uppity with Black Lives Matter. I'll tell you what. So it is not hard to whip these people. This is the QAnon storm. Everyone knew about the QAnon storm. Trump knew. Giuliani knew. Trump's children knew, and the people who spoke there knew about this. And they viewed it as the storm that was coming. And it is no surprise that these people were ready to go to the Capitol and kill people. We're ready to go to the Capitol and burn it down with Molotov cocktails. We're ready to plant pipe bombs. We're ready to kill people. It is no surprising. And lastly, that security was not there. Who's in charge of law? Who is the chief law enforcement officer of the country? My goodness, it's Donald Trump. Which is why if you have the chief criminal also be the chief law enforcement officer, things are going to get just a snitch screwy pretty quickly. And you'll have the Capitol overrun with people who are anxious to do damage and to violate laws and to kill people. So the fact that there was no security just means that Donald Trump was in charge through his lickspittles, and that is why there was no security there to start with, and that is why it took so long for any effective defense to be made of the Capitol. These things seem very, very obvious to me that this was all well planned. Though not very intelligently planned, but not a very likely to be effective. But it could have maybe burned down the Capitol, kill 100 people, string up 16, 17 members of the Senate, and 30 members of the House. And I don't know, maybe you'd be able to accomplish something. So there is. These are things that I think are extremely, extremely relevant to what has happened.